St.Pauls Cathedral Church is a big church located in the heart of London. It's very beautiful and is a symbol of Britain. A lot of historical events have happened at the church, such as a funeral of Sir Winston Churchill in 1965, which was broadcasted on the BBC, being the biggest event since coronation in 1953. A lot of people have attended his funeral, as he did a lot for the country. Royal wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana took place in St.Pauls in 1981, being a wedding of the century. The United Kingdom had a national holiday at that day. It was watched by 750 million people around the world. First church was built by the East Saxons in the early 600s. And then that church was burned down and another church was built, which was destroyed by the Vikings in 842 during the Viking invasion. Then that church was replaced by the Normans in 1066 after they invaded from France. This is what we call Old St. Paul's. The church was playing a vital role at this stage of the history, as it was even used as a hospital during a civil war. So the church was in a tremendous despair, but when the monarchy was restored, Charles II saw this church as an expression of his authority as a king and wanted it to be restored as well. In 1666, a great cataclysmic event happened, and it was Fire of London. At that time, it was a hot and dry summer supported by a strong wind, and London was filled with small wooden houses. This made what looked like a small fire to grow into uncontrollable flame, which was not put down between 4 to 5 days. It destroyed most of what we think is the city of London. The medieval city was gone. Christopher Wren was a professor of astronomy at Oxford University and a brilliant mathematician who was an architect of the St. Paul's Cathedral. He understood the architecture that was being produced in France and Italy. There are a lot of similarities between design of St. Basilica in Italy as well as design of Louvre in Paris. There were a lot of similarities between Church of St. Peter's in Rome as well as Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. Dome is quite similar to Dome and Pantheon as well as modeling of stone. The final sketch is how Wren imagined St. Paul's to look like. Eventually, it took him a decade to design it and 40 years to build it. It was the greatest building project of the age. It combined neoclassical, Gothic, and Baroque elements, all inspired from Wren's traveling. Dome of St. Paul's was quite different to the usual domes at that age, including a lantern on the top of the dome and iron chains in the middle. However, this church was built in Protestant era, but Henry VIII broke it and converted to the Church of England. Inside the vaults of the choir are decorated with mosaic by Sir William Richmond. The transepts extend to the north and south of the dome and are called the North Choir and South Choir. This was designed by Wren's office and built by joiners.